and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's Sunday morning video is a wee post-match review of the Celtic 4-0 win over Newcastle yesterday afternoon at Celtic Park, along with a wee update on a few transfer stories, ins and outs, with one confirmed deal and two or three other deals for players potentially leaving the club, likely to be announced tomorrow, Monday. Great win for Celtic yesterday, 4-0, nice and comfortable. Looks like they got through the game also with no injuries. Lots of first-team players and likely backups and subs bench players all got a good run out. A couple of the young academy players also got some good game time. And first game of the season for Paulo Bernardo, and also reassuring to see Adam Idah was able to play around about 25 minutes or so at the end of the game, despite there being some worries about a potential injury. Celtic started with a mix of likely first team first choices and likely backups, with Kasper Schmeichel in goals, Anthony Ralston at right back, Dane Murray and Austin Trusty as the two centre backs, Hayato Inamura getting the start at left back. In midfield, Luke McCowan, Callum McGregor and Arnie Engels. Out wide on the right, interestingly, was Yang. Through the middle was Johnny Kenny, and out wide on the left, Dyson Maeda. Celtic got off to a nice, confident, quick start. Balance of play pretty much 50-50, a couple of half chances for both teams, a couple of saves for both goalkeepers. Johnny Kenny had a couple of good chances, one of which he probably should have put away, and one of other Celtic's best chances in that first half was a potential own goal that was very well saved by Pope in the Newcastle goal. However, Celtic did take the lead in the 28th minute, Arnie Engels being fouled in the box, and as has been usual recently, Arnie Engels stepped up to take the penalty in the 28th minute and very confidently sent the goalie the wrong way and put Celtic 1-0 up, probably on the balance of play, a deserved lead for Celtic. Celtic doubled their lead just before half-time. Long clearance up the pitch from Kasper Schmeichel from his own goalmouth area. Nick Pope, the Newcastle goalkeeper, completely misjudging his rush towards the ball to try and head it away. Ball skidded over the top of him, and Johnny Kenny very quickly got into position and slotted the ball away for Celtic to have a nice 2-0 lead at half-time. In the second half, Celtic kept up the pressure, and in the 52nd minute went 3-0 up. Some good defensive work. Celtic very quickly got the ball out. Nice link up with Kenny, McCowan, and then out to Dyson Maeda, who made a bit of a run down his left-hand side, and then a beautiful squared ball, leaving Ha-Young Yang tons of space at the back post, and he easily beat the goalkeeper for a nice 3-0 lead. Celtic made some changes early in the second half, with Kieran Tierney coming on to a great reception for his first game back at Celtic Park in his second spell here, and Celtic made a whole series of changes, taking off pretty much the whole team and putting on a whole new team to finish off the last 25-30 minutes of the game. And indeed, Celtic did add to their lead, get the fourth goal by Liam Scales. Nice bit of work after a corner broke down. Idah recycling the ball. Nice 1-2 gave Kieran Tierney some nice space out on the left wing, and a beautiful cross into the box, perfectly headed into the net by Liam Scales to give Celtic a deserved 4-0 easy win over Newcastle. Has to be admitted, however, Celtic are largely a week 10 days ahead of most of all the Newcastle players. In general terms, Scottish clubs come back to pre-season training a week or two before the English clubs. So Newcastle probably a week or so behind Celtic in their pre-season preparation. However, a very impressive, confidence-building, morale-building game for Celtic. Just one or two wee stats from the game. Possession was 46 to Celtic, 54 to Newcastle. Shots were 14 for Celtic, 17 for Newcastle. Shots on target for Celtic 5 compared to 7 by Newcastle. Off targets 8 to 4 for Celtic, and Celtic blocked 6 shots by Newcastle, and Celtic had 1 shot blocked by Newcastle defenders. Interestingly, clear-cut chances were 3 to 2 in favour of Celtic, and saves were 7 to 2 in favour of Kasper Schmeichel over Nick Pope. And also Celtic won the ground duels, 86 to 67 for tackles, although were slightly behind in terms of the aerial duels. Does, I think, show the fact that Celtic were pretty much 50-50 with Newcastle in most stats, but were that bit more clinical in defence and in attack. And so 4-0 win takes us on to the next game, which will be in the Como tournament, initially against Ajax on Thursday, and then there's a game on the Saturday or the Sunday against the winner of the other semi-final of the Como tournament. After that, it will be into the first league game of the season, 2 weeks today, on the Sunday afternoon. Players, I think, who deserve a special bit of praise for yesterday's game. I was very impressed with Hayato Inamura. He looks very calm and composed on the ball, good basic ability to defend, has been fitting in very well with Trusty, Murray, and whoever else he's playing with in the back four. And I think he is more than likely to be kept at Celtic for the season and may well prove to be the primary backup for Kieran Tierney. Remembering also we do have the options of players like Trusty and Scales, both of whom play left back previously in their career on a regular basis. We've also got Adam Montgomery, who's in the squad at the moment, and younger players like Mitchell Frame as potential left backs. So it may well be that the impressive performances of Inamura means that Rodgers doesn't go into the transfer market for a more established left back, but we'll see how that pans out. Also, big praise, I think, for Yang down the right hand side, with Jota being out for at least the next 6 months, potentially the whole of the season. It does open up a potential space on the right hand side. Celtic do look to have been turning down offers for Yang, and it may be the reassurance of having regular first team football for Yang keeps him at the club. And if he performs as well as yesterday and several times last season, I think Celtic will be fine down that right hand side with or without an additional player. Luke McCown again, I thought was very impressive in midfield. Set up that third goal. His passing is good. He works very hard in midfield. I think he is going to be one of Celtic's substitute midfielders with occasional starts. But I think we can be assured that when he does come into play as a starter or comes off the bench, he is going to perform well for Celtic. I think also praise for Austin Trusty. He was given man of the match, and he coped well with some very highly skilled, talented forwards and strikers from Newcastle. Didn't really put too much of a foot wrong, I thought, in the whole game. And I do think, assuming that Carter Vickers is fit for the start of the season, that it's going to be Carter Vickers and Trusty as our starting centre-backs for the first wee while. Moving on to the transfer ins and outs, Celtic made their 7th signing of the season. Some people have it down as 6, but I always include Isaac English our young, talented centre back that we signed from Morton. He is admittedly going to be going into the Academy B team and UEFA Under 19 team. But I think in time, if he does keep on developing as well as he has so far, he could end up being a Celtic squad player in a few years' time. So I do think it's important to keep him in the tally for signings this season. Shin Yamada signed on a 4-year deal, and I was quite impressed with his interviews. Seems a very humble, hard-working, genuine man, keen to do his best for Celtic, and did say that conversations with Ryo Hatate and Hayato Inamura had encouraged him to come to Celtic and told him what a great club Celtic was. And it does look like there is a bit of a bond between Hayato Inamura and Shin Yamada and Ryo Hatate already, which hopefully should help him settle into the team. Shin Yamada holds the record for the fastest player in the J League. He beat a record previously held by our own player Daisen Maeda. And he is a player with a lot of pace, good at setting up other strikers and other players for goals, and does have very good finishing skills. And I think, assuming he settles well into Celtic, I think he's going to turn into a good, reliable goal scorer for us in Scottish football and also in European football. As I said a wee bit earlier, some speculation that Marco Tilio may be on his way out of the club. Said that Rapid Vienna in Austria are keen to sign him, either on a loan with a potential buy clause at the end or as a straight transfer. I'd be quite sad to see Marco Tilio go. I think he does probably deserve a wee go in the first team squad now that he's fully fit. When he was in the first team squad a couple of years ago, he was still in recovery from a nasty leg injury that kept him out of football for 2 or 3 months. He had a brilliant season for Melbourne earlier in 2025, leading them to the Australian Championship with lots of goals and lots of assists and lots of man in the matches. And I would be quite keen for Celtic to keep him at the club at least until the winter window, until we better know who we've got in, who we've got out, how those players have settled, and also a better idea when we're getting Jota back into the team. So I'd be more inclined to let him stay at Celtic for the next 4 or 5 months and then reassess things in the winter, especially as it's thought that Luis Palma is travelling from Honduras to Poland today and will be signing tomorrow for Lech Poznan. That's a season-long loan with a buy-out clause at the end of around about £3.8 million, which would be the highest fee paid in the Polish league. Oddly, today also one news story saying that he's going to Legia Warsaw rather than Lech Poznan. Although I think that might be a bit of a miscommunication, as the Polish newspapers are saying that Luis Palma is going to Lech Poznan and a winger is going from Lech Poznan to Legia Warsaw, with Luis Palma in essence replacing the player who's moving out. I think probably for Celtic and for Luis Palma, it's definitely time to move on. I think Luis Palma is a very good player, just I don't think he fits in terribly well to the current system Brendan Rodgers is using, and Brendan Rodgers doesn't seem keen to try Luis Palma in other positions or try using his skills more centrally rather than out wide. Continuing stories linking our South Korean midfielder Kwon to Austria Vienna. That's still thought to be at the negotiation stage over the contract, etc., for Kwon if he does move to Austria Vienna. But I would expect that deal will get confirmed early in the week. And finally, a bit of speculation regarding Daisen Maeda. He's been linked primarily with Brentford, also off and on with Spurs and one or two other English Premier League sides. Celtic are known to be in negotiations with Maeda and his agent over a new extended contract to take him up into the top echelons of highest paid players at Celtic. Um, Brendan Rodgers was a bit non-committal, as he often was in his post-match interviews. However, a lot of stories coming out of Celtic are suggesting that Maeda is very keen to sign an extended deal at Celtic, keen to stay in Scotland at Celtic, and some stories are suggesting that Maeda signing a new extended deal is likely soon, prior to the start of the season, although nothing yet concrete or fully confirmed. That just about finishes things off for this Sunday morning video. As we finish, just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement to all those not yet subscribed to the channel. Please do click that subscriber button. 1 or 2 new subscribers every day does make me so happy. It's completely free of charge, no obligation. So please do click that subscriber button. And as always, do feel free to put your pleasant, polite comments, thoughts, opinions, theories into the comment section for a nice wee chat and debate, be it about yesterday's performances, who you thought did well, didn't do so well, etc., and also any wee thoughts regarding potential transfers in and out of Celtic. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.